Hey everyone, welcome back. We are well into the fall season, well, a couple days into the fall season, and today I'm going to share with you a recipe for a toasted ravioli. This goes absolutely perfect with your inside entertainment. If you're looking to entertain, you're looking for that perfect hors d'oeuvre. Football's coming up. It's going to be perfect for your favorite football fans. You're really going to like this recipe. I think you're really going to like this recipe. I like it, so you know what I always say, if I like it, you're going to like it. So let's go ahead and get started. We will not be making homemade ravioli here, so if you're looking for a homemade ravioli recipe, this is not the video for you. I'm choosing the lazy way, and I bought the frozen. They work out perfect, and you know, I'm always looking for easy. These are the cheese ravioli. If you want to buy the meat, you can buy the meat. It doesn't matter which one you use. You can switch it up if you want. Do some cheese, some meat. These are in the frozen section of your grocer's freezer. They're in the freezer. So what you need to do is lay these out a little bit before you know, you start to cook them, at least 30 minutes before, so they can start thawing out nicely. And here I've got some breadcrumbs. These are Italian breadcrumbs. Well, they are now. I accidentally bought the plain breadcrumbs. No worries if you do what I did and accidentally buy the regular ones. You can just add some Italian seasoning, some basil, garlic powder, and some onion powder in there, and boom, you got Italian breadcrumbs. We're also going to use some eggs here. I've got 4 eggs in here and probably about a half a cup of milk because we're going to dip. We're also going to be making a homemade marinara sauce, which is so quick and so easy. And we're going to get started on that first so it can just sit on the counter and have time to, I'm cutting my head off, and have time for the flavors to marry. You don't have to cook this, but I do have some onions and garlic that I've got cut up that I'm going to saute a little bit of olive oil. That way, you know, they have a nice soft texture going into your marinara sauce. They're not crunchy at all, so very simple and easy. And if you don't want to make marinara, go to the store and buy it. Okay, because I want to infuse my olive oil with the flavors of the onion and the garlic, I'm going to go ahead and start it off cold. We're starting the pan off cold here. And then I've got some onions and garlic here, just roughly cut up. As you can see, I didn't really cut them that much because they're going to go into our little mini food processor. So go ahead and toss those in there. I'm just going to stir those around, get them coated with that nice olive oil. You need probably about, I don't know, a couple tablespoons of olive oil. And what's going to happen is, where this is starting out cold, the flavors are going to just go right down into that. They're just going to penetrate into the olive oil, and the olive oil, it's just going to be infused with all those wonderful flavors. We are just going to saute these just for a few minutes until the onions and garlic start getting nice and soft. And while your onions and your garlic are starting to cook over there, you can go ahead and start on your tomatoes or on your marinara. This is a quick and simple marinara sauce. Like I said, this does not have to be cooked. You don't have to wait for it to cook for, you know, 45 minutes or whatever. This is just, it's quick and it's easy, and it's so full of flavor. This is just a can of the petite diced tomatoes, no salt added. You don't have to use no salt. I just happen to buy those. Sometimes I just grab things that I don't realize that I'm grabbing. But the no salt's fine. It's absolutely fine. And what you're going to add to that is, let me get my stuff out here. You're going to add some oregano. For 1 can, to season this well, I'd probably add a good teaspoon and a half in there, and you're going to add some fresh basil. Now this is absolutely, I don't know if you've bought this before, this is absolutely amazing. This is freeze-dried basil. It's usually over there where your fresh tomatoes and stuff are at, like right at the bottom. This stuff is phenomenal. It doesn't matter how many times I use this or open this jar up, it smells, the fragrant is absolutely amazing. So I know that I'm getting quality ingredients here. I like a lot of basil in mine, so we're going to use probably a good, I don't know, tablespoon of that as well. We're going to use some garlic powder. I don't measure anything, so you just have to do it. You just have to taste it. Probably a teaspoon and a half of garlic powder. I'm going to use some onion powder. A little bit of onion powder. You know what? That's onion salt. That's perfectly fine. We'll use the onion salt instead. Oh, it smells amazing already. We're going to use some black pepper. If you're using the onion salt, I'd use just like maybe a half a teaspoon. But if you're using the onion powder, I'd use at least a teaspoon, teaspoon and a half. And we're going to use some black pepper as well. Now, since I had to use the onion salt, see, it's all about using what you have on hand. Since I had to use the onion salt, I'm going to go ahead and wait until I get all the flavors together, and I'm going to taste it to see if it needs any additional salt. And we're just going to spoon those in. Put your lid on. And this time, I remembered to put my blade in there. All right, now I'm going to add a little of the grated Parmesan cheese, you know, the powdery kind, into this mixture of the Italian breadcrumbs. Because I think it's just going to add a nice little goodness to it. Plus, it's going to add a little bit of, you know, a nice salty flavor to it as well. So what you're going to do is you're going to mix that really well. You can add more if you like. A couple tablespoons. It's not going to hurt anything. Adding cheese, Parmesan cheese, never hurt anything. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your ravioli and you're just going to, well, you're going to pick it up somehow, and then you're just going to dip it right into your egg mixture. And then right into your breadcrumbs there. And then you're going to lay it right on your, right back on your baking sheet. Go right in. And then coat it with your breadcrumbs. See how easy that is? Now I'm going to finish these, and then I will show you what they look like when they're done, and we'll proceed to frying them. Perfect. Got my oil going here. It's coming up to temperature. I'll tell you a nice way to check it to make sure that it's nice and ready. It's just to take a little bit of your breadcrumbs and then just toss it in there and see if it starts bubbling up like that. And it is, so it looks like it's ready. It's important that it is ready, or your ravioli will turn out soft and gooey. What I done, I want you to look at these real quickly. I got all the breadcrumbs on them, and then I just let them sit for about 10 minutes so that can adhere nicely to that. So what we're going to do is we're going to add these one at a time to our pan of hot oil. And then you're just going to cook these for about 3 or 4 minutes. Make sure you flip them until they're nice and golden brown. Alright, so I definitely made a lot more. I started off with a lot more than I'm ending with for the video. That's just how good they are. They are absolutely delicious. Look at the beautiful, vibrant brown color. It is absolutely amazing. These are delicious. And I'm telling you, they are so simple and easy to make. And paired with my homemade marinara sauce, they're just absolutely magical. I'm going in for a bite. What's left anyway, we're gonna do like a dip, dip, dip. And now for the taste test. I'm not gonna lie, I've already had about, I don't know, 10. These are so good. Man. So good. I'm going in for another bite. You have to make these very soon. You know I love you guys so very much. You know I love you. I appreciate you. I hope you like this video. I hope you give these a try soon. They're amazing. And like I said, you can switch it up and make the meat ones as well. I like to do both. I like for people not to know what they're getting, what they're biting into. So make it a surprise. You know I love you. I'll see you on the next episode of In the Kitchen with Sandy. Bye. Now I wish I wouldn't have told my husband. I'd save him some. Guess what? I lied.